Hi, Gabby.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You look like you're in a good mood.
I am.
How was your day at school?
It was really good.
It was good?
Yeah,
Tell me about
I
it.
had a lot of friends.
Yeah.
And I did like you said, and I didn't hug them all when they came to class. I asked them if they wanted to hug me. And some of them said no, and I said high five, and some of them still said no, and I was sad, but I said that was okay.
Gabby, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
That is a big deal that you're using your words and you're asking people if that's okay. But let's talk a little bit about the sad part, right?
Yeah.
It's okay for people to tell us no, right? That doesn't mean that they don't want to be our friend, right?
Yeah, and I still asked them on the playground if they wanted to play.
Did they play with you?
Yeah. So they still wanted to hang out, but they might just think I'm a little weird or something.
I don't think that it would be that you're a little weird. I don't think that you're weird. I think that you're an extremely wonderful young lady.
Thank you.
And I think that you have great energy and that people love to be around you, and that's
lots
why
of
they wanted to
friends.
play with you.
And lots of friends. And
lots of
my
friends.
teacher, Miss Thompson, she said that I can hug her anytime I want
Mm-hmm.
because that is okay with her. Because I asked her if I could hug her, and she said, anytime you need to, Gabby. And I said, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Do you see how important it is to ask?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what if she didn't like it, and then maybe I would just be disrupting class or something.
Right? Is there ever times that maybe someone hugs you that you don't really like it? Maybe, ooh, I don't like that. Please don't hug me.
Yeah, I don't like it when people hug me and I'm in a bad mood.
Yeah. Do you use your words?
Sometimes I just say, get off.
Remember
so not good words.
Remember what we talked about? We can still use our strong words, right? What are our strong words?
No, thank you. I would not like a hug right now.
And we put a little power behind our voice,
Yeah.
right? So we're not yelling, but we're still saying, no thank you, I don't like that, please.
Yeah.
So we're still being kind, but we're being stern, and they're understanding that I don't like that, please don't touch me.
Yeah, it doesn't
Right?
make me happy.
Exactly. So the same way that maybe when someone does that to you, it doesn't make you happy, kind of icky, you don't like it, is why we ask other people before we hug them or we touch them, because we want to make sure that that's okay with them, and we're not maybe putting them in a bad mood and making them sad or unhappy,
Yeah.
right? So we're respecting them. Well, that's so good. I'm glad that you share that with me. I'm really proud of you, Gabby.
Thank you.
You should be proud of yourself.
Thanks. I've been practicing a lot. I was thinking about the stuff that you said last week,
Mhm.
but I didn't have to practice that because nobody talked to me.
Yeah. So you remember what we did with the puppets?
Yeah, with the mom puppet and the dad puppet and the me puppet, and you were the stranger puppet.
Mm-hmm.
And when you said, do you want to come play, I really wanted to say yes.
Yeah.
But you said
But
that I should ask mom and dad, so I said, I'm sorry, I have to ask my mom and dad. And puppet mom and puppet dad said, absolutely not.
They said no.
They were like,
Because why
no.
did they say no, Gabby?
They said that is not a safe person, and we don't know them,
Mm-hmm.
because you were a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, they could have been really nice. And mom said, but we don't know. That's
but
what
we
mom
have
said.
to ask what trusted
adults
before we make those
to make
decisions,
sure
right?
people are safe and that I'm safe.
And not to make sure that you're safe, and sometimes people can be very nice, and that's okay, and they might be very nice, but that doesn't mean that they might be trustworthy and that they might be safe. And that's why we always ask mom or dad, or if mom or dad aren't around, who are some other people that we would ask?
We could ask like my teacher, or if I'm with my grandma, I can ask my grandma.
Yep.
And whoever is the trusted adult that my mom and dad said I could be with at that time.
You would always ask them first because you're making a safe choice, right?
Yeah.
You're making a safe decision. You're making a safe choice.
Yeah, that's what mom says. Mom says that you just always have to ask first. So I would practice it, but no strangers or stranger puppets came and asked me today.
And that's okay. That's okay that you haven't been in the situation where you've had to practice that. But the thing is now is that you're prepared, right?
Yeah.
So now you know. You know the right things that you should do, the right questions that you should ask. You go right to mom and dad and you say, Mom and Dad, this person is asking to play with me. Is it okay?
Yeah.
And then you let mom and dad make that safe choice for you, okay?
Yeah.
But you're the one that's starting to make the safe choice first, right?
Because I made the choice to say I should ask mom and dad.
Right?
Yeah.
So who's the real winner here?
Me.
Right?
They think they make the rules, but I'm just pulling all the strings.
Mom and Dad still make the rules, but you are doing
bedtime.
You are doing a wonderful job following them.
Thanks.
And you're making your own rules.
Mm-hmm.
Your own rules for your body, how to
Mhm.
respect it, how to respect other people's bodies.
Mhm.
And you're doing a really great job.
Yeah, thank you.
So
I
you
know.
liked last week's activity where we played?
Yeah, that was
and
fun.
stuff?
Can we do it again?
Well, we're not going to do that again tonight. Don't get too disappointed. I promise you we're still going to do something pretty fun.
Okay.
So we're going to work on something that's called a personal space circle.
What's personal space? Mom says it sometimes when I'm right here. I'm going, Mom, Mom. And she's like, "You're in my personal space." But I don't know what that means, because if I'm in her personal space, then she's in my personal space. So why is it not our personal space?
That is a very good question, Gabby. So if say you're right here in front of Mom, right?
Yeah.
Does Mom say, "Gabby, get out of my personal space"? If you're an arm's length from her?
No.
Okay, so now when we remove the arm and you enter this area, and say you're right here, what does Mom say to you?
She says, "Back up."
Yeah. So would this place be personal space right here?
I guess. Is that like the safe place?
It's kind of the safe place, right? Your arm is always a good guideline to use, that if you cross anything after that, now you're entering someone's personal space.
So what if somebody has really long arms?
Then they have a little bit more extended personal space. But personal space is wherever you want that to start.
Okay.
So even if you put up your hand and say, but then you stand up and maybe you say, I don't really like someone that close to me. You have the right to decide that this is going to be your personal space.
Okay.
Okay, so it's whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay.
You have that choice to be able to decide. And maybe Mom's choice is that she doesn't like someone being right in her face, so she's deciding that that's her personal space, and she doesn't want you in it. And that's Mom's choice, right?
And we have to respect that.
We have to respect that, right?
Yeah.
So maybe what can we do next time before we get into Mom's face and we say, Mom, Mom, Mom?
I can say, "Mom, can you pay attention to me?" And then maybe she'll say yes, or she'll say, "Give me a minute," and then I can count to 60. And then when 60 comes, then I can ask her what I wanted to ask her.
Gabby, you have really great ideas.
Thanks.
You are really doing such a great job. Those are really great ideas.
Thank you.
I think that maybe you could try that next time, right?
Okay. What if after 60 seconds, though, she still says, "Give me another minute. Do I have to count to 60 again?"
Because it's Mom's choice, right? And we have to respect.
Okay. It's a lot of 60.
It is. But you know what? If you get to 160, maybe the next thing you can do is go in your room and play for a little bit.
While I wait.
Or go watch a movie, or maybe watch a little bit of TV, or just give Mom her time.
Okay.
You know? You like when people give you your space, right? When you use your strong words and you say,
And I say, "No, thank you."
"No, thank you. I need my space. I would like my time," right?
Yeah.
And then Mom respects that.
Yeah, she says, "Okay, you take all the time you need," and then she leaves and lets me do what I want, as long as it's in the rules of the house.
So maybe, what do you think? Is that something that maybe you could try too?
Yeah, I guess if she can do it, then I can do it.
I think you definitely
Because
can
I
do
am
it.
making the rules.
I think you definitely can do it. So we'll say, yes, I can do it.
Okay, yes, I can do it.
All right, so let's get back. So the activity that we're going to do today is going to be coloring.
Yay!
I know you love.
favorite.
We know you love coloring, so I figured that we would do something like that today. So what it's called is, it's a personal space circle, and it's
Okay.
going to help you understand what personal space is and what it looks like, right? Because sometimes when we think about what does personal space really look like, we're like, I don't kind of know. So this is going to show you in a picture form, because we know you like drawing and coloring, so you'll be able to look down and understand what personal space looks like and how to respect it, where it begins and where it ends.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So we'll take a seat down here next to my table,
Okay.
and
What colors should I use?
so we're going to use, what is a stoplight? What colors are in a stoplight?
Green, and green means go.
Mm-hmm.
And red means stop, and yellow, but I don't know what yellow means because we don't use it, I guess.
Well, because you don't drive,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, because I drive. So yellow means slow down.
Mhm.
So that's the place where you decide, getting too close, I'm going to need you to take a step back, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have you color your red, your yellow, and your green. So
Okay.
stop will be what color?
Red.
Red, and then slow down will be,
Yellow.
and then go will be
Green.
our green. Okay. So I'll have you start coloring. So let's think, Gabby. Let's talk a little bit. What does go mean?
Go means that you can go. So like it's okay
Mhm.
to go forward.
Right?
So does that mean if you're in my go space, it means that we can hug?
So that's what, if someone is in your go space, that means that this is a safe place for them to be, right?
Yeah.
So if they decided that they wanted to hug you, they would still, because we always should ask, right?
Yeah.
No matter what. People should always ask you if that's an okay thing for them to do.
So
and you should
can
always
I write
ask
ask
other
in
people.
here?
Yep, you absolutely should. That is a great idea.
Okay.
What people do you think could be in this go space,
My
right?
mom
Mm-hmm.
and Mrs. Thompson, because she said that I can hug her whenever I want.
Excellent. That's a great idea. What about Dad?
Dad can be in here.
Grandma can be in here.
Yeah. So family
Yeah.
and Mrs. I'm gonna put T because I don't know how to spell Thompson.
That's okay. Mrs. T, I think, is good. What about, can strangers be in this space, Gabby?
Maybe if I want them there, I guess.
Gabby, that is a great point that you just made, right?
Yeah.
Because it's always your decision, right?
Yeah.
On who is going to be in your
My
space, right?
Yeah. So, but what if they get in my space and I'm like, no thanks.
What do we use? We use our strong words.
Our strong words, and we say no, thank you.
We use
Mr.
our strong
Stranger.
words, and we say no thank you, and we even have our right to gently put our arm up and say no thank you.
Too much.
Too close. This is my space, right?
What if that person gets mad at me?
When someone gets upset at us, should we talk to a trusted adult about it?
Yeah.
Should we maybe go to mom and have a conversation? And because if someone gives you that icky feeling in their belly and doesn't make you feel very good about something, then maybe you should probably talk to a trusted adult,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, because if you don't know me, why are you upset that I'm like, no thanks, we can't hug? Even if I really want to, but Miss Ashlee says you can't hug strangers, and Mom says you can't hug strangers, even if they seem really nice, like as nice as Grandma.
Because why?
Because we don't know them, so they're not safe, and they're not my trusted adult.
So it's really important to make sure that we're making those safe choices.
Yeah.
And remember that no matter who gets upset, you always have the right to decide who's going to be in your space and who's not going to be in your space.
Even if Mom says no?
Even if Mom says no. Because it's your body.
Does that make the rules?
We make the rules together, right? Because we
Yeah.
work as a team, right,
Yeah,
Gabby?
yeah, I know. That's what everyone keeps saying, but I'm like, are you the one that sits with Miss Ashlee every week? Nope, I am.
We make rules together, right, that work for us because
Yeah.
we're a team, and Mom's on our team too, and Dad's on our team too,
Even
right?
though sometimes they're kind of stinky about it. Sometimes they're like, you know, we know Miss Ashlee said, but, and I'm like, well, Miss Ashlee said that I could say, no thank you, you're in my space. Oh, so
Careful.
if I don't want a bedtime story, I don't need a bedtime story because my bed is my space.
But if Mom and Dad are being kind and they're trusted adults, do we use strong words or do we use kind words?
I use kind words and I say, no thank you, I don't want a bedtime story tonight. And Dad's all, well, we do this every night. And I'm like, well, I'm 8 now and I don't want it tonight, but thank you. And I made sure I said, but thank you. And I said, this is my space and I need big girl space and big girl time. And he was like, he was upset, but he said okay because I said, Miss Ashlee says I can have my space and that you need to respect my space.
Well, I'm glad that you used your kind words, and it sounds like you explained yourself, and it sounds like Dad respected your choice, right?
Yeah, I think he was still upset, and he was all, we make the rules in this house, and I said, I know, but
what do you think
so do
maybe
I.
something, if Dad wanted to read a book to you and you didn't want to have the book read to you, what is something else that maybe we could do to meet in the middle so that Dad was happy and you were happy too?
Maybe I could read the book to Dad and I can pick it out because he always reads them off the shelf in my room, but I share that shelf with my little brother and it's all baby books and I want to read like Harry Potter, but Dad says I'm too young, but I said all the other kids are reading chapter books. So I want to read a chapter book.
well, maybe we could try another chapter book, right? I do think that it's a wonderful idea that you said that maybe you could read the book to Dad, right?
Yeah.
Because then what are we doing? You are not getting the book read to you because you feel like you're 8, right? And you're older now and you want to read, and that's great. I'm glad that you want to do that. And then Dad still gets to enjoy his time with you, right?
Yeah, but then what about, because sometimes I just want to cuddle and like hug Dad and lay with Dad and hug Dad, and he gets like, oh, well, we have to read our book, and remember we were talking about space, and I said, but that doesn't apply to you because you're my safe adult, so I don't think he gets it. Or maybe I don't get it.
Maybe do you feel like that's something that maybe we can bring Dad and Mom in and have a conversation together?
Yeah, because I know that they just want to listen to you and all of our rules, but I think that we can cuddle because he's my dad and he's my safe adult.
Of course. And I think that he can too, but we have to make sure that that's something that Dad's okay with too, right?
Yeah, so I can put in here, read to Dad. That's in my go space. And I have no thank you in my go space because you can say that.
You can use your strong words in your go space if you decide that any person in your go space, you no longer want them there, right?
Strong words. Yeah.
And can we still use our strong words and still be kind at the same time?
Yeah. Can I
course we
write
can.
be kind?
Of course you can.
I'm going to use all words.
You can use them.
Be kind.
Okay.
Next, can we do slow down? Because I don't really understand slow down.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Okay, so
So
I'm
what are
gonna
your
color it
questions
yellow.
about slow down?
When do I tell someone to slow down? Because if I said in my go space, no thank you, kind friend, and they said, you know, if I already said it, then they should know that that's a no. So they shouldn't even be in my slow down.
That is a great point. So now if someone has gone, say we said no in our go space, right?
Yeah.
And now they're entering our slow down space. Are they being safe now?
No.
No, right? Now is this a safe situation for you now? Because you've already used your stern words
Yeah.
and you've made it very clear that you don't want someone to come into your slow down space.
Yeah, so that's not safe.
So if you're in an now if you feel like you're in an unsafe situation, what would your next step be to make it a safe situation? Would you maybe find
I would find a trusted adult. I would maybe push them, but I think that that's the wrong answer.
I wouldn't say that that's the wrong answer because there is no right or wrong answers, right? Because that's why we're talking. We're figuring out stuff together. I do think that using strong words and maybe putting up our arm guard, like we talked about, the arm space, and letting
back up,
please back up. This is my space, and then finding a trusted adult.
What if I know you said that if I want them in my space, then that's okay. So what if I want them in my slow down space?
So where would the slow down space be? So now we've let them get from the go space, right? So now they're, and so what I'm going to have you do is when we're done coloring, I'm going to have you stand in this stop space.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit more of an idea of what these actual spaces look like when you're standing up, okay?
Yeah.
So you can allow people in your go space. Who are some people that what are some things that you would be doing that someone would be in your go space?
You mean my slow down space?
Your slow down space, excuse me.
I was gonna say we did go space, and I've got
Gabby,
that down.
I'm so thankful that you are so observant. You're such a good listener. What would I do without you, kiddo?
Thanks. In my slow down space, maybe high five or a secret handshake. I don't have one of those yet, but I could.
You could have one.
And this is for reasons they can be in my slow down space.
That you already said yes.
Maybe they're gonna help me do my homework, so we have to sit closer so they can see that. Or I think that's it. Unless you have an idea.
A hug too.
That's in my stop space because we're gonna be touching.
That is true. That is true. That is a very good point that you just made. But your stop space has a couple other things too. So we'll talk about that when we get to our stop space.
We gotta slow down.
Our slow down space could be physical touching as long as you say that that's
okay with it.
Exactly.
Okay, so
such as maybe an arm around the shoulder.
Okay.
Right?
So like if I'm on the playground with my friends, maybe a slow down space is we can hold hands and walk around the playground.
If someone got, close to you to tell you maybe a secret or a silly joke or something like that, that would be your slow down space too.
Mom says no boys and no girls that I have crushes on can be that close to me because no boyfriends or girlfriends till I'm 25.
Because that's not an appropriate behavior, right?
Yeah.
We're 8 years old. We want to make sure that we're older.
But there's a lot of people that I like and I like a lot, and Mom says that no boyfriends, no girlfriends till you're 25.
I think that it's great that you like a lot of people and you're very friendly and loving, Gabby. It's because you're a great kid.
Mom says I don't know the difference between a crush and just liking people a lot. So that's why I can't have boyfriends or girlfriends, because then I would have too many. She said, you have too many boyfriends and girlfriends, and then how are you going to take care of them all?
And how does that, what do you feel about that?
It makes me sad, but I think that she's right because I love everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody can be my boyfriend and my girlfriend. So she's right. You're only supposed to have one. So I need to wait until I know what one boyfriend or girlfriend looks like, I guess.
Can we maybe use the words just friend?
Yeah.
For both boys and girls, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because if you love everyone, they're all friends, right?
Yeah.
They're all of our friends.
Susie has a boyfriend. And Janet has a girlfriend. And I just feel left out, I guess. But Mom says that's okay because you don't need a boyfriend or girlfriend to be happy. You just need friends.
And are you happy with your friends, Gabby?
Yeah, I love all my friends, and I wish they would all let me hug them, but they don't all like hugs, and that's okay because we talked about that, and that's okay.
And that still means that they still do love you, right? And
Yeah.
they're still friends with you, even if they don't maybe like the hugs and stuff like that, because not everyone likes the same stuff, right?
Which is just silly if you ask me, but that's okay.
And that's okay. It may seem silly to you because you like giving hugs, and that's okay too.
So when is it bad for someone to be in my slow down space?
Well, I'm not going to answer that. I want you to think about when would it be bad when someone is in your slow down space? When they're in the green space. Oh, I'm sorry, Gabby.
No, it's okay.
When they're in the green space where you've allowed them to stay there, right? Because maybe they're not doing anything that makes your stomach feel a little icky, right?
Yeah.
When people get us upset, sometimes our belly gets a little weird sometimes. And then now they've entered into our yellow space without asking.
I don't know. I like to hug everybody, so I don't think my slow down space has a lot of reasons, but a stranger, I guess, because I know that that's not safe unless Mom or any of my trusted adults say it's safe, or when I'm mad.
So, you made a great point. This would be a no stranger zone, right?
I'm going to use a different color so you can see it.
This is all about what you're comfortable with, Gabby.
Strangers.
So we wouldn't be comfortable with strangers in our slow down
Because
space,
they're not safe. Even if I am not feeling icky about it, I know because you said it and Mrs. Thompson said it and Mom and Dad say it, that strangers shouldn't be that close to you.
And you're comfortable with family being in your slow down space, right?
Yeah.
So we can write that.
Yes. Family.
And what about Mrs. Thompson? Are you comfortable with Mrs. Thompson being in your slow down space?
Yeah, because she says I can hug her all the time.
And are we comfortable with our friends in our slow down space?
Yeah. Yeah, all my friends can come to my slow down space. Unless I'm mad. Then I don't want anybody in my slow down space.
And then we use our what?
Strong words. So I grade that again?
Yeah, of course you can.
Words. I'm going to put big, no, and mad. Because I don't want anyone near me when I'm mad. Because otherwise I'm going to probably hit them maybe.
Well, what can we do before we hit them?
We're going to use our words and ask nicely for them to give us some space.
And if our words don't work, what do we do next? Can we
talk to a trusted adult?
So we remove our situation, so we leave that situation, right? We walk away and we find a trusted adult to talk to.
Okay.
And let them handle that.
Even if I really want to hit them.
Even if you really want to. Remember, and you can do the breathing too.
I know.
Remember we talked about our nice deep breaths. You always say that they make you sleepy sometimes, but
they make me
But that's what relaxation feels like.
It feels like a nap.
It feels like a nap. It feels like a little
I'm
sleepy.
8. I don't have to take naps anymore.
Everyone still needs to. Gabby, I still take naps.
Maybe when I'm older, I'll take naps.
When you're older,
Yeah.
Okay.
Older people take lots of naps.
Not that old yet. Not that young, kid. I don't take that many naps. Maybe once a week when I'm really tired. But you made it really good. These are really, really good, Gabby.
So
no strangers are allowed.
No one mad.
And yes to our family because that's what you're comfortable with, right?
Yeah.
And yes to Mrs. T, and our friends are allowed in our slow down space, and use our strong words if we don't, because at any time, right, when we're in our slow down space, if anyone in this space decide that you don't want them there, what do? We use our strong words to let them know that you need your space.
And we say, no thank you.
Exactly.
Stranger person.
I want to ask you, now if a stranger was to continue in your slow down space, I just want to see if you were listening earlier, what would you do if they were entering your slow down space?
I would say, no thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Please get out of my slow down space.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they don't listen, then I would go get my mom or a trusted adult that I'm with.
You are such a good listener.
Thanks.
You are such a good listener.
Thanks. I know you're gonna give me a quiz sometime, so I have to listen just in case.
I have to make sure that you're listening to me.
I always have to get a good grade on my time quiz.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I need to make sure that you're listening to me, right? And you always are. All right, so let's get to our stop space.
Okay, this is where I stand, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I was standing up. When I am standing up, we'll see it.
And you're going to be able to see that. Should anyone enter your stop space?
I don't think so because it's red, but like what if it's like a hug from my mom?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with that.
And you're okay with it. What does it always come down to, Gabby, if
When
you
I'm
are
okay
with it?
But,
because it's your body.
But I like hugging everybody, even if I don't know them. So I'm kind of okay with all of it. So.
But what do we always make sure that?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we have to make sure it's not a stranger and make sure that they are trusted.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's a stranger at the park who's my age, and they say that they want to give me a hug, but they're still a stranger? Do I still have to ask mom, or can I say that's okay because you're my age, so you're safe?
That's a really great point, Gabby. I think that that's okay if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I think that that is okay. This is what's called using your better judgment.
Okay.
You're making decisions based on if you feel that they're okay, and knowing that if an older person asks you to hug you and they're a stranger, that's not safe, right?
No.
But if it is a child that's your age and you feel comfortable and they do ask you for a hug, as long as you feel okay with that, then I would say.
I think sometimes at the playground, there's other kids like me, and they want to just give hugs all the time, and I want to hug them back because I know what it's like when people tell you no, and I want them to feel like it's okay if they want to hug me. But do I have to tell them about personal space?
Only if you don't like where they're standing.
Okay.
And if they're invading your personal space, that's when you use the things that we talk about, right?
Yeah, and then I can say you should go see Miss Ashlee because she'll teach you about personal space.
Very good. What about if a child your age, okay, at the park, and they came up to you and they told you, let's go for a walk. Now they're your age and they seem nice and friendly and maybe they hugged you before, so now you feel comfortable. Would you leave with them?
No.
Okay. Why wouldn't you?
Because I didn't ask my mom, and I shouldn't go places without telling my mom, even though it's probably gonna be okay, but just in case.
And even though that they're young and they're nice, they are still a what?
Stranger.
They're still a stranger, and we always have to make sure that we're still being safe and that we're making safe choices to protect ourselves, our bodies, and that's really important.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Does it make a little bit more sense now?
Yeah, so in the park, okay. Out of the park, bad. Not okay.
Well, in the park, you can play with them, of course, but if it's out of mom's eye,
if you can't see me, I can't see you. That's what she always says.
Right? So we always have to be aware of that, and we always have to remember that, and you always have to think, before you go play with a friend, can my mom see me? Because if you can't see her, then she can't see you.
Nope. And
So then what do we do?
Really mad.
Exactly.
So then I need to make sure I'm in her sight. Otherwise, she will take away my TV time, and she'll take away ice cream after dinner. And that is the favorite part of my day.
Gabby, you love ice cream after dinner, and we do not want that to happen, right?
No, I want all the ice cream.
So we follow our rules, and we make sure that we're doing what we need to do, and you're doing a wonderful job. So does this give you a little bit of a better idea of what a boundary is? So boundaries and personal space are kind of the same. So boundaries are just something that we put in place, like a fence, right, to keep something out, right?
Yeah.
So these are the things that we put in place to make sure that people respect our personal space circle.
Yeah.
Does that kind of give you a little bit of a better idea? So we build a fence, say we have a backyard, right?
So this is like my chain fence. No, this is the electric fence that keeps the dog out and you can't see it. And this is like the chain fence that the dog really can't go through, and this is like the house and you can lock the door.
That's a very good example.
Thank you.
That is a very good example. Maybe you'll be a future therapist when you're older.
Maybe.
You're so
someday.
good at this.
Someday, and I can help teach all the kids about personal space.
Okay. Do you want to give your personal space a circle a try?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Let's give it a go.
I'm gonna put it right here.
Closest.
Okay.
Here, let me move this out of the way.
Oh, you're fine. Do I stand in the stop sign?
You know what, Gabby? I'm gonna move our table just a little bit. We're just gonna move this just a smidge, just because we're going to practice when someone is in your personal space.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Step right on it.
Yep.
All my hard artwork.
Now right here, I'm in your green section. Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Because I'm still in arm's length, right?
Mhm.
Now if I step further, are you comfortable?
Too close.
And then I respect it, right?
Unless I say, "Can I have a hug?"
Unless you say, can I have a hug, right?
Yeah. And then you can come closer.
And then you're comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And your stop space is very, very close to your feet. So now they are in your very close personal space, right?
Yeah.
And then what do we say?
I say, "No, thank you."
No, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, can I step in your personal space circle?
Yeah. Should I step out?
Yep, I'm gonna have you step out and I'm gonna step in. So now this is my personal space, right? So now if someone came into my green space, I'm okay with that, right?
Yeah.
I'm comfortable in that section. If someone gets to my yellow space, then I use my words, right? My strong words, and what do I say?
You say, "No, thanks.
No, thank you.
Please back up."
Thank you. And then once someone's in my stop space,
Then you go get an adult.
I remove myself from the situation, and then I go get a what?
A trusted adult.
A trusted adult, right?
Yeah.
All right. Do you think this is something that we can use?
Yeah, I think I should hang it up
You want to hang it up?
at my house.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Here,
so
let's
that
move
way-
the table back a
That
little
way
bit.
everyone can see it.
Yeah. Right, good. All right. So what did you learn today?
I learned that I should always ask for personal space, and I learned that go is okay and stop is bad and slow down is no thank you. And that strangers shouldn't be in my yellow or my red.
And what about with friends? How do we respect other people's personal space?
We ask them if it's okay, and if it is, then it's okay. And if we make new friends on the playground, it's okay, but I can't leave with them because if mom can't see me, I can't see her, and that means no ice cream.
So what do you think maybe we can work on next week?
I think it would be good to learn how to make friends without having to hug them, because I have all these friends at school, and I told you that some of them like to hug me and some of them don't, and I don't know how to be friends with them if we're not hugging. So can we learn how to make friends next week?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah?
Can we bring mom and dad in next week?
Yeah, because I want to talk to dad about reading Harry Potter. I think it would be a really good idea. I think that we could have a lot of fun together. And we could have Harry Potter ice cream night. See, I already think it's a good idea.
That is
I'm
a good
sold,
idea.
and I make the rules, Miss Ashlee. I told you I make the rules.
We don't make the rules, but we work together to make the rules.
But if I make a really good rule, then I was kind of like I made the rule.
Then we talk to an adult, right?
Yeah, we'll talk to the
make sure
adult.
that they're okay with that rule.
Yeah, okay.
You have good ideas though, Gabby.
Yeah, so we'll talk to Mom and Dad, and we'll learn how to make friends, and maybe Mom and Dad can pretend to be my friends at school, although it's kind of weird because they're my parents, and we can do it together. But with the puppets, can we use the puppets next week?
We can use the puppets again.
Oh, good.
I know those are your favorite.
Yeah, before we leave, can we do that thing where we say nice things to each other like we usually do?
Of course we can. Do you want to sit back up on the couch?
Yeah, okay. You might want to sit over here, Miss Ashlee. I would like you more in my personal space.
Okay, and I'm okay with that, Gabby.
Okay. So, usually before we leave, I say 3 nice things about me and 3 nice things about you, and I like it when we do that, so can I do that?
You can do that, Gabby.
Okay. Do you want me to start with me this week or with you?
Go ahead, you can start. I started last week.
Okay, so for you, I want to say thank you, Miss Ashlee, because you helped me learn that strangers are bad, and
not that strangers are bad.
They're not safe.
And they might not be safe, so we have to ask.
We have to ask. And I want to say thank you because you always remind me that I'm not weird. I just show people that I love them different. And thank you for always telling me I have really good ideas.
You do have really good ideas.
Thanks. And then for me, I think that I'm fun, and I think that I'm loving, and I also think I have really good ideas.
You have really good ideas. And remember also, we go home and we talk to Mom and Dad about what we learned today.
So, and if they don't think it's a really good idea, I'm not going to get upset because we're going to come here next week and talk to you, and you're going to tell them that maybe it's a good idea, but we can make it better together.
Because we're a team, right?
Because we're a team.
Well, Gabby, today I'm proud of you because you learned what personal space is, what boundaries are. You remembered what we did last week.
And I'm not going to go like this to Mom.
And you're not going to go in Mom's face and say Mom, 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 Mom over and over again, because what do? We have to what?
We have to give her 60 seconds when she says, give me a minute, and I count to 60, and then if she says, give me another minute, I'm going to go in my room and show her how big I am, because I don't need her help.
Because Mom does what? She respects?
She respects my time and my space, so I have to respect her time and her space.
Okay. And what are we going to talk about with Dad?
Reading Harry Potter or chapter books before bed, and I'm going to read them, not him, because I'm a big kid.
But we're going to take turns reading them, right? Because you want to tell Dad that you like to read the stories sometimes.
And then maybe someday he'll let me read it all the time.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah.
But we have to talk first, right? That's
Yeah, and then
communication is important.
And then next week we'll talk about with you maybe reading and cuddling at the same time.
You really love Harry Potter too.
I love Harry Potter. I've never watched the movies because Mom says that they get a little bit scary, but I think that when I'm 10, I can watch movies. So in like 1 year and 4 months.
And I'm really proud of you for using your words with your friends and respecting their space and understanding that even if they don't want a high five from you or a hug from you, that does not mean that they're not your friend, right?
Yeah, and we're gonna learn to make friends next week. So
because what are they doing still on the playground?
They're still playing with me. So I think that's a good thing. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm excited and I'm nervous. And
that's okay.
Now you have to say 3 nice things about you. That's my favorite part. It's what I do, you do, and that's fair.
That is fair, Gabby. That is fair. 3 things about me. Help me out, Gab. You know I always have a hard time.
I already gave you 3 things.
You're the one
Give
with
me
the great
one
ideas.
thing you like about your outfit.
It's comfortable because today was chilly.
And give me one thing you did today that you really liked.
Meeting with you.
That's right, because I make the best rolls.
You have wonderful ideas.
And then give me one thing you ate today that was really yummy.
Sushi, but I know you don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like sushi. It's really gross and wiggly in my mouth, and I don't like that. I don't like it when it's wiggly.
Well, Gabby, I really appreciate having you here today.
Thank you.
And it really seems like you learned a lot.
I think I learned a lot, and I'm going to go home and I'm going to hang that up right above my bed.
And you get to take it.
And I'm going to tell everybody nope, no thank you, stranger man, because that's my personal space. And when my brother tries to crawl in my bed, I'm gonna be like, listen, now is not the time, no thank you.
Good job using your words, right? But even if we use our strong words, we still can use kind words with them, right?
I can say, no thanks, buddy, maybe later, even though I'm like, get out.
But we still use our kind words.
Yeah, I won't say get out. Keep
No,
it in
we're
my
not
head.
gonna say get out. But all right, Gabby, it was wonderful to see you, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Okay.
Okay, for puppets and mom and dad.
For puppets and mom and dad.
I'm
Yes.
so excited.
All right. Yeah. I'll talk to you next week. Okay,
Okay,
Gabby.
thank you. I'll see you next
welcome.
week.
Bye, Gabby.
Bye.